The warning lights turned red all at once. Lieutenant Ho grabbed the controls of his small shuttle and tried to pull the nose up, but the ship did not listen. The engine had died. There was nothing he could do now except fall. Below him, the planet spread out like a brown and orange blanket. Mountains rose from the ground like teeth. Forests covered the valleys between them. Somewhere down there, his ship would hit the ground. Ho did not know if he would survive. He had been a pilot for 7 years. He had flown through asteroid fields and solar storms. He had landed ships on planets with no atmosphere and planets with too much gravity. But this was different. This time, he had no power. This time, he was just a rock falling from the sky. The shuttle shook as it entered the atmosphere of fire wrapped around the windows. The heat came through the walls. Ho pulled his straps and pressed his back against the seat. He thought about his sister, who was waiting for him on the main ship above. He thought about his mother back on Earth. He thought about all the things he still wanted to do with his life. Then the ground came up to meet him. The crash was loud. It was the loudest thing Ho had ever heard. Metal screamed as it bent and broke. Glass shattered into 1,000 pieces. The shuttle rolled once, twice, 3 times before it finally stopped. Inside, Ho hung upside down in his seat, his body pressed against the straps. Blood dripped from his forehead and fell toward the ceiling below him. For a long moment, everything was quiet. Then the pain came. It started in his left arm, then his ribs, then his legs. The pain spread through his whole body like fire spreading through dry grass. Ho tried to breathe, but each breath felt like someone was stabbing him with a knife. He tried to move his fingers, but his left hand did not respond. He tried to move his legs, but they felt like they belonged to someone else. He knew he was badly hurt. He just did not know how badly. Outside the broken shuttle, something moved. Ho could hear footsteps, many footsteps. They were soft and quick, like the feet of animals walking on leaves. Then he heard voices. The words were strange. They were not human words, but somehow, through the translator implant in his ear, he could understand them. "What is this thing?" one voice asked. "A ship," another voice answered. "It fell from the sky." "Is there something inside?" The footsteps came closer. Light appeared as someone pulled away a piece of broken metal from the shuttle wall. Through the hole, Ho could see a face, but it was not a human face. The skin was pale green. The eyes were large and yellow. There were no ears, just small holes on the sides of the head. This was one of the alien species that lived on. It looked at Ho with wide eyes. It made a sound like a gasp. "There is a creature inside," it said to the others. "It is still alive." More faces appeared at the hole. More yellow eyes looked at Ho. He tried to speak, but all that came out was a groan. The pain was too much. His vision was starting to go dark at the edges. "We must get it out," one of them said. "Call the medical team, quickly." Everything happened very fast after that. They worked together to cut open the shuttle. They were careful not to hurt Ho more than he was already hurt. When they finally freed him from his seat, they laid him down on a flat surface and carried him away from the burning wreckage. Ho looked up at the sky as they carried him. The sky was purple, not blue like Earth. 2 moons hung in the distance, one large and one small. He wondered if could see him from up there. He wondered if she knew he was still alive. They took him to a building made of white stone. Inside, more waited for him. These ones wore long coats and had metal tools in their hands. They were doctors. Ho had seen enough hospitals to know what doctors looked like, even alien ones. One doctor came forward. This one was taller than the others. It had a small mark on its forehead like a birthmark. Later, Ho would learn that this doctor was named. Looked down at Ho with those large yellow eyes. It held up a small device and moved it slowly over Ho's body. The device made soft beeping sounds as it scanned him. When the scan was done, his face changed. The expression was hard to read on an alien face, but Ho thought it looked like shock, maybe even fear. "How many bones are broken?" another doctor asked. looked at the device again as if it could not believe what it was showing. 17, it said finally. 17 bones are broken, 4 ribs, left arm in 2 places, right leg in 3 places, left ankle, several bones in the spine. His skull has a crack. The other doctors made sounds of distress. They looked at each other with worry in their eyes. He should be dead, one of them said. He will be dead soon, another agreed. No creature can survive such damage. It is not possible. Leaned closer to Ho. Can you understand me, strange creature? Ho tried to speak. His throat was dry and his lips were cracked, but he forced the words out. Yes, he said, I understand. His eyes went even wider. Remarkable, it can communicate. What are you? Where do you come from? Human, Ho whispered. I am human from Earth. The doctors looked at each other. The word human meant nothing to them. They had never heard of Earth. They did not know what a human was or what a human could do. You are dying, said to Ho. Its voice was gentle, almost kind. Your body is broken beyond repair. We cannot fix you. No one can fix you. Do you understand? Ho understood. The doctor was telling him that this was the end, that he should close his eyes and let go, that there was no hope. But Ho was human, and humans did not give up so easily. He looked up with eyes full of pain but also full of something else, something they had never seen before, something that looked like fire. No, Ho said. Tilted its head. No, what? No, Ho repeated. I am not dying, not today. The doctors exchanged confused looks. They did not understand. How could this broken creature say such things? How could it refuse death when death had already claimed it? They did not know. They could not know. They had never met a human before. And they had no idea what was about to happen. The night passed slowly in the medical building. Outside, the 2 moons have moved across the purple sky. Inside, the doctors watched their strange patient with growing confusion. Ho should have died. Every test they ran told them the same thing. His body was broken. His bones were shattered. His organs were damaged. By every rule of medicine that they knew, this creature should have stopped breathing hours ago. But Ho did not stop breathing. His heart kept beating. His lungs kept working. And somewhere in the darkness of unconsciousness, his mind kept fighting. Stayed by his side through the whole night. The other doctors came and went, but did not leave. There was something about this human that could not look away from, something strange and wonderful and terrifying all at once. When the first sun rose over the mountains, Ho opened his eyes. The pain was still there. It filled every part of his body like water filling a cup, but the darkness was gone. He was awake, he was alive, and he was not going to stay lying down. Notice the movement first. The human's fingers were twitching. Then his eyes opened, dark and deep like the space between stars. For a moment those eyes were confused. Then they became clear. Then they became determined. You are awake, said, leaning closer. This is unexpected. Ho tried to speak, but his throat was too dry. He made a rough sound like rocks rubbing together. Water, he managed to say, please. Hurried to bring him water. They did not drink the same way humans did, but they had seen Ho's mouth and guessed how it worked. Held a small cup to Ho's lips and let the water flow in slowly. Ho drank. The water was cool and clean. It tasted different from water on Earth, but it was still water. It still gave him life. When the cup was empty, Ho felt a little bit stronger. More, he said. Brought more water. Ho drank 3 cups before he was satisfied. Then he did something that made drop the 4th cup in shock. He tried to sit up. No, cried out, rushing forward to stop him. You cannot move. Your spine is damaged. If you move, you will die. Ho heard the warning. He understood it, but he did not obey it. His body screamed at him as he pushed himself up from the flat surface. Every muscle burned. Every bone ached. The crack in his skull throbbed like a second heartbeat, but Ho kept pushing. Other doctors ran into the room when they heard his cry. They found the human sitting up on the medical table, his face twisted with pain but his eyes full of stubborn fire. They could not believe what they were seeing. "This is impossible," one doctor whispered. "He should be paralyzed," another said. "The damage to his spine. He should not be able to move at all." "And yet he moves," said quietly. "Look at him, he moves." Ho looked at the circle of alien faces around him. They were all staring at him like he was some kind of ghost. Maybe to them he was. Maybe in their world, creatures did not fight against death. Maybe they just accepted it and let go. But Ho was not from their world. He was from Earth. And on Earth, humans had been fighting against death since the very beginning. "Where am I?" Ho asked. His voice was stronger now, still rough but stronger. Stepped forward. "You are in the healing house of the village of. We brought you here after your ship fell from the sky. We tried to help you but—" paused, searching for the right words. "We did not think you would live." "Well," Ho said, and something that might have been a smile crossed his bloody lips, "I am still here." "Yes, you are still here, and I do not understand how." Ho looked down at his body. He could see the damage even through the strange bandages that had wrapped around him. His left arm was bent at a wrong angle. His chest was purple and black with bruises. He could feel that his right leg was not working properly. And somewhere inside his head, there was a sharp pain that never went away. 17 broken bones. That was what the doctor had said. 17 bones, shattered and cracked and destroyed. Any normal person would have given up. Any normal person would have accepted that the fight was over. But Ho had never been normal. Even among humans, he was different. His mother used to say that he was born stubborn. His sister used to say that he was too stupid to know when to quit. Maybe they were both right. Maybe being stubborn and stupid was exactly what he needed right now. "I need to move," Ho said. Made a sound of alarm. "No, absolutely not. You must stay still. If you move, you will make the damage worse. You could kill yourself." "I could kill myself by staying still too," Ho said. "My sister is up there." He pointed toward the ceiling, toward the sky, toward the stars. "She is waiting for me. I need to contact her. I need to let her know I am alive." "You cannot walk," said firmly. "Your legs are broken, your spine is damaged. Walking is not possible for you." Ho looked at with those dark, determined eyes. "Watch me," he said. And then, before anyone could stop him, Ho swung his legs over the edge of the table and tried to stand. The pain was beyond anything he had ever felt before. It was like being burned and frozen and stabbed all at the same time. His broken bones shifted inside his flesh. His damaged muscles tore even more. His body begged him to stop, to lie back down, to give up. Ho did not give up. He put his weight on his right leg first. It held, barely. Then he tried his left leg, but it folded under him like wet paper. He started to fall. Caught him. The doctor was smaller than Ho, but surprisingly strong. Held Ho up and looked into his face with those large yellow eyes. "You are mad," said. "You are completely mad." "Maybe," Ho admitted, "but I am not dead yet." "You will be if you keep this up." Ho laughed. It was a strange sound in that quiet room full of shocked aliens. It was a human sound, full of pain and stubbornness and something that might have been joy. They had never heard anything like it. "Do you have something I can use to help me walk?" Ho asked. "A stick maybe, something to lean on." Stared at him for a long moment. Then the doctor made a sound that might have been a sigh. "You will not stop, will you? No matter what I say, you will not stay still." "No," Ho said simply, "I will not." Looked at the other doctors. They looked back with faces full of confusion and fear. None of them knew what to do. Their medical knowledge was useless here. Their rules did not apply to this creature. This human was doing things that should not be possible. Finally made a decision. "Bring him a walking support," said to one of the other doctors. "If he is going to kill himself, at least we can slow him down." The other doctor hurried away and came back with a long stick made of smooth white wood. gave it to Ho. The human grabbed it with his good hand and used it to steady himself. "Thank you," Ho said. "Do not thank me," replied. "I am helping you destroy yourself. This is against everything I believe as a healer." "Then why are you helping me?" Was quiet for a moment. Then the doctor spoke, and there was something new in its voice, something like respect. "Because I have never seen anything like you before. Because I want to understand how you can do what you are doing. Because," paused, "because I want to see what happens next." Ho smiled again, even though it hurt. "Then stay close," he said, "because this is only the beginning." With the stick in his hand and fire in his heart, Ho took his first step. It was small and painful and almost made him fall again. But he did not fall. He stayed standing, and then he took another step. The doctors watched in silence as the broken human walked. Each step should have killed him. Each step everything they knew about bodies and bones and survival. Each step was impossible. But Ho did not care about impossible. He only cared about moving forward. And so he did. The morning air was cold against Ho's skin. He stood at the door of the healing house and looked out at the alien world around him. The village spread before him, with its white stone buildings and narrow streets. Beyond the village, mountains rose toward the purple sky, and somewhere out there, half a kilometer away according to, was the wreckage of his shuttle. And in that wreckage was the emergency beacon. That beacon was his only hope. It was his only way to contact and the main ship. Without it, he would be lost on this planet forever. Without it, his sister would never know what happened to him. Ho gripped his walking stick and took his first step outside. The villagers had gathered to watch him. Word had spread quickly about the strange creature that had fallen from the sky. They had heard that it was broken beyond repair. They had heard that it should be dead, and now they were seeing it walk with their own eyes. They watched in silence as Ho moved past them. They did not speak. They did not move. They just stared with their large yellow eyes, trying to understand what they were seeing. Walked beside Ho, ready to catch him if he fell. The doctor had brought a bag filled with medical supplies, though did not know if any of them would help a human. This was new territory for everyone. "The crash site is that way," said, pointing toward a path that led into the forest. "It is not far, half a kilometer, maybe less." Ho nodded. Half a kilometer. In normal times he could walk that distance in 5 minutes, but these were not normal times. With 17 broken bones and a body that screamed with every movement, half a kilometer felt like a journey to the end of the world. But he had no choice. He had to keep moving. The path into the forest was rough and uneven. Roots crossed the ground like sleeping snakes. Rocks jutted up from the dirt. For someone with working legs, it would have been an easy walk. For Ho, it was a battlefield. Each step was a victory. Each step was also agony. His broken ribs shifted with every breath. His damaged spine sent waves of pain down his legs. His cracked skull throbbed in time with his heartbeat. But Ho kept walking. One step, then another, then another. After 50 meters, his vision started to blur. After 100 meters, his good leg started to shake. After 200 meters, he had to stop and rest against a tree. "You should go back," said. "This is too much. Your body cannot handle this." Ho shook his head. Sweat ran down his face and mixed with the dried blood on his forehead. "I have to keep going," he said between heavy breaths. "The beacon. I need the beacon." "Why?" asked. "Why is this beacon so important? Why are you willing to destroy yourself for it?" Ho looked at the alien doctor. "My sister," he said. "She is up there on our ship. She thinks I am dead. She is probably crying right now, thinking she will never see me again. I cannot let her believe that. I cannot let her hurt like that." Was quiet for a moment. Then the doctor said, "You are doing this for another person. You are killing yourself so that someone else will not be sad." "Yes," Ho said simply. Made a sound that Ho did not recognize. It might have been confusion, it might have been wonder. "The do not do such things," said finally. "When we are dying, we accept it. We do not fight. We do not struggle. We let nature take its course." "Humans are different," Ho said. "We fight. It is what we do. It is who we are." He pushed himself away from the tree and started walking again. Followed close behind, watching every step, waiting for the human to collapse. But Ho did not collapse. He stumbled. He wavered. He made sounds of pain that echoed through the silent forest, but he did not fall. He kept moving forward, meter by painful meter. The forest around them was beautiful in a strange way. The trees had silver leaves that caught the light of the two suns. Strange flowers grew along the path, blue and green in colors that had no name in human language. Birds with 4 wings flew overhead, singing songs that sounded almost like music. Ho saw none of it. His whole world had become the path in front of him. His whole existence had become the next step. Nothing else mattered. Nothing else existed. 300 meters. His left arm, broken in 2 places, started to throb with a new kind of pain. Something was wrong. Something was very wrong, but Ho ignored it. He could deal with it later. Right now, he had to keep moving. 400 meters. His breathing became harsh and ragged. Each breath was like trying to breathe through a wet cloth. His broken ribs were pressing against his lungs. He knew this was dangerous. He knew this could kill him. But stopping would kill him too, just more slowly. Was recording everything. The doctor had pulled out a small device and was documenting every moment of this impossible journey. Later, this recording would spread across society. Later, millions of aliens would watch a broken human drag himself through a forest, but right now was just trying to understand. "How do you do this?" asked. "How do you keep moving when your body is telling you to stop?" Ho thought about the question. It was not easy to explain. Humans had been doing this for so long that they did not think about it anymore. They just did it. "We are afraid of many things," Ho said slowly, pushing out the words between steps. "But we are more afraid of giving up. We would rather die trying than live knowing we quit." "That makes no sense," said. "No," Ho agreed. "It probably does not, but it is still true." 500 meters. The trees started to thin. Through the gaps between them, Ho could see something metal shining in the sunlight. The shuttle, the wreckage. He was almost there. But his body had finally reached its limit. His legs stopped responding. His vision went dark. He felt himself falling, and there was nothing he could do to stop it. Caught him before he hit the ground. The doctor lowered him gently onto the soft forest floor and checked his vital signs. They were weak but still present. The human was not dead yet. "You cannot continue," said. "Your body is shutting down. You must rest." Ho lay on his back and looked up at the silver leaves above him. They danced in a gentle wind. They were beautiful. He wished he could enjoy them, but he had no time for beauty. "How far?" he whispered. Looked ahead. "About 50 meters. The wreckage is just beyond those trees." 50 meters, so close, so impossibly close. Ho could not give up now, not when he was this close. He tried to stand. His legs would not work. He tried to push himself up with his arms. His broken arm screamed with pain and collapsed under him. So he did the only thing he could do. He started to crawl. Watched in horror as the human pulled himself across the ground. Using his one good arm and whatever strength was left in his shattered body, Ho crawled toward the wreckage. His fingers dug into the dirt. His legs dragged behind him like dead weights. Blood started to seep through his bandages. It took him 10 minutes to crawl those 50 meters. It felt like 10 hours. Every centimeter was a war. Every second was a lifetime. But slowly, painfully, impossibly, Ho made progress. When he finally reached the edge of the crash site, he stopped and looked at what remained of his shuttle. It was barely recognizable. The metal was bent and twisted. The wings had broken off. The cockpit was crushed. It was a miracle that he had survived at all. But there in the middle of the wreckage he could see it. the emergency beacon. It was a small box, orange and black, built to survive anything, and it was still intact. "There," Ho said, pointing with his trembling finger. "That is what I need." Looked at the beacon, then back at Ho. The human's face was white as paper. His eyes were half closed. His body was covered in dirt and blood. He looked more dead than alive. But there was still fire in those eyes. There was still stubbornness in that broken body. "I will get it for you," said quietly. The doctor walked into the wreckage and carefully picked up the beacon. It was heavier than it looked, solid and well-made. Brought it back to Ho and placed it in the human's good hand. Ho's fingers closed around the beacon. He had made it. Against all odds, against all reason, he had made it. Now he just had to stay alive long enough to use it. The beacon felt warm in Ho's hand. It was the only warm thing in his entire body now. Everything else had gone cold. His fingers, his feet, his face. The cold was spreading through him like water through sand. He knew what that meant. He was running out of time. "How do you activate it?" asked, kneeling beside him. Ho looked at the beacon. It was a simple device, just a few buttons and a small screen. He had used one before in training, but that was a long time ago when his body was whole and his mind was clear. Now his vision was blurry and his thoughts were slow. He found the power button and pressed it. The screen lit up with a soft blue glow. Words appeared, written in human language that could not read. "Emergency beacon activated. Searching for signal." Ho watched the screen. His heart, beating weakly in his broken chest, seemed to slow down even more. Everything depended on this. Everything depended on whether there was still a ship up there to receive his call. The screen changed. "Signal found. Vessel Explorer 7. Distance 847 kilometers. ESTABLISHING connection." Ho let out a breath he did not know he was holding. The ship was still there, was still there. The beacon had found them. A moment later, a voice came through the beacon's small speaker. It was a voice Ho knew better than any other voice in the universe. It was the voice of his sister. "This is Explorer 7, receiving emergency signal. Please identify yourself." His voice was professional and calm, the way she always sounded when she was working. But Ho could hear something else underneath. He could hear the fear. He could hear the hope she was trying not to feel. He said, his voice came out weak and broken. He was not sure if she could hear him. There was silence on the other end. Then spoke again, and this time her voice was shaking. "Ho, is that you, Ho?" "It is me," he said. A smile crossed his bloody lips. "I am still here." He heard her crying. He heard other voices in the background, asking questions, shouting orders. But's voice was the only one he focused on. "We thought you were dead," she said through her tears. "When we lost contact with your shuttle, when we saw it go down, we thought we had lost you." "Not yet," Ho said. "I am not dead yet." "Where are you? Are you hurt? What is your condition?" Ho almost laughed. "I am hurt," he admitted. "Very hurt, 17 broken bones, maybe more now. I cannot really feel my legs anymore." Made a sound that was half sob, half gasp. 17. How are you even conscious? How are you talking to me right now?" "I am stubborn," Ho said. "You always said I was too stubborn." "I never thought," his voice broke. She took a breath and started again. "We are coming to get you. We are preparing a rescue shuttle right now. Just hold on. Please, Ho, just hold on." "I will try," he said. But even as he said it, his vision was getting darker. His hand was getting weaker. The cold was spreading faster now. Watched the human talk to the box in his hand. The doctor did not understand the words but understood the emotion. This human was talking to someone he loved, someone who loved him back, and both of them were afraid they would lose each other. "How long?" Ho asked. "How long until you get here?" 3 hours, she said. "Maybe less if we push the engines. Can you hold on for 3 hours?" 3 hours. It sounded like forever. It sounded like a lifetime. "I will try," Ho said again. "No," said firmly. "Do not try, do it. You are not allowed to die, do you understand? That is an order from your sister. You are not allowed to die." Ho smiled again. "Yes, Commander." "I am serious, Ho. You have to stay awake. Keep talking to me. Tell me what happened. Tell me where you are. Tell me anything. Just keep talking." So Ho talked. He told her about the engine failure. He told her about the crash. He told her about thee and their yellow eyes and their shock at seeing him alive. He told her about the doctor who had helped him even though every rule said he should not. He told her about the long walk through the forest, about the pain and the determination and the refusal to give up. As he talked, began to understand some of what was happening. The other humans were coming. They would take this broken creature away. They would try to fix him, and would probably never see him again. The doctor felt something strange at that thought, something that might have been sadness. In just a few hours, this human had changed everything believed about life and death and the limits of the body. To lose him now felt like losing something precious. "Your people are coming?" asked when Ho paused to catch his breath. "Yes," Ho said. "They will be here in 3 hours." Nodded slowly. "Good, that is good." The doctor paused, then asked, "Will you survive? Will your people be able to fix your broken body?" "I do not know," Ho admitted. "Human doctors are good, but—" He looked down at his ruined body. "This is bad. This is very bad." "You should not have walked," said. "You made everything worse by walking." "I know," Ho said, "but I had to. You understand, do you not? I had to." Was quiet for a moment. Then the doctor said, "I am starting to understand. I did not understand before, but I am starting to now." Time passed slowly. Ho kept talking to, but his words became fewer and farther apart. His eyes kept closing. His breaths became shallow. Watched his vital signs grow weaker and weaker. "He is dying," said, though could not hear. "He is really dying this time." But Ho heard, and somewhere deep inside his failing body, he found more strength. Strength he did not know he had. Strength that should not have existed. He said, "I am getting tired." "I know," she said. Her voice was steady now, though he could hear the tears underneath. "But you cannot sleep. Not yet. Stay with me, Ho. Stay awake." "I am trying." "Tell me about Mom," said. "Tell me about that time she caught us stealing food from the kitchen at night. Remember that." Ho remembered. He had been 12, had been 10. They had been so sure they were being quiet, but their mother had known. She always knew. "She pretended to be angry," he said slowly, "but she was trying not to laugh. She made us clean the whole kitchen," said, "at 3 in the morning." "Worth it," Ho said. "The cake was good." Laughed through her tears. "It was good. Mom's cake was always good." They kept talking. Old memories, old stories, old jokes, anything to keep Ho awake, anything to keep him holding on. 2 hours passed, then 2.5. Ho could barely keep his eyes open now. His hand was so weak he could hardly hold the beacon. Had started supporting his arm, keeping the device close to his mouth so he could keep talking. Then finally Ho heard something, a sound in the sky, a sound like thunder but smoother, more controlled. "We are here," said. "We see the crash site. We are coming down." Ho looked up. Through the gaps in the silver leaves he could see a shape descending from the purple sky. A shuttle, a human shuttle. His people had come. Watched the flying machine land in a clearing nearby. Strange creatures came out of it, creatures that looked like Ho. They were running, carrying equipment, shouting in their strange language. A small human ran faster than the others. She had the same dark eyes as Ho, the same shape to her face. This must be, realized, the sister. Reached Ho and fell to her knees beside him. Her face was wet with tears. Her hands were shaking as she touched his face. "You did it," she said. "You crazy fool, you actually did it." Ho smiled up at her. His eyes were barely open now. His voice was just a whisper. "I told you," he said. I am stubborn." Then his eyes closed, and he finally let himself fall into the darkness. But he was not dead. Not yet. The human doctors surrounded him, working fast and working hard. They lifted him onto a stretcher and carried him to the shuttle. They started working on his broken body before they even took off. Watched them go. The doctor stood at the edge of the clearing as the shuttle rose into the sky, carrying the impossible human away. Ho had done it. He had refused to die, and now maybe he would get the chance to live. Had never believed in miracles before, but after today, the doctor was not so sure anymore. 8 months had passed since the crash on. 8 months of surgery, 8 months of healing, 8 months of pain that sometimes made Ho wish he had not survived after all. But he had survived. Against every prediction, against every calculation, against every medical rule known to both humans and aliens, Ho had survived. He stood now at the window of the medical station orbiting Earth. His legs were working again, though they still ached when it rained on the planet below. His arm had healed, though it would never be as strong as before. His skull had mended, though he still got headaches sometimes. The doctors had called him a miracle. They had said that no human should have been able to survive what he had survived. The damage to his spine alone should have killed him. The walk through the forest should have finished whatever the crash had not. And the 3 hours of waiting for rescue, while his body slowly shut down, should have been the final end. But Ho had not let any of it end him. He had refused, and somehow, against all logic, his body had listened. "You look better," said a voice behind him. Ho turned to see walking toward him. His sister looked older than she had before the crash. There was in her hair now that had not been there 8 months ago. The experience had aged her. The fear of losing her brother had left marks that would never fully heal. "I feel better," Ho said. "Still not perfect, but better." Came to stand beside him at the window. Together, they looked down at the blue and green sphere of Earth. Their home. The place where humans had first learned to fight against death. "There is someone here to see you," said after a moment. "Someone who came a very long way." Ho raised an eyebrow. "Who?" Instead of answering, smiled and stepped aside. Through the door came a figure that Ho recognized immediately, even though he had only seen it for a few hours on the worst day of his life. Walked into the room with slow, careful steps. The doctor looked exactly the same as before. The pale green skin, the large yellow eyes, the small mark on the forehead. But there was something different in the way he looked at Ho, something that might have been joy. "You are alive," said. "You are walking, you are whole." Ho smiled and walked forward to meet the alien doctor. His legs still hurt with every step, but he did not show it. He had learned to hide his pain a long time ago. "Because of you," he said. "You helped me when you did not have to. You stayed with me when any other doctor would have given up." "I could not give up," said. "You were too interesting. I had to see what would happen." Ho laughed. It was good to laugh. For many months after the crash, he had not been able to laugh at all. The pain had been too much. But now, finally, the laughter was coming back. "What brings you here?" Ho asked. "It is a long journey from to Earth." Was quiet for a moment. Then the doctor said, "I came to tell you something, something important, something that has changed everything for my people." "What is it?" "Your story has spread," said. "The recording I made of your walk through the forest, of your refusal to die, of your conversation with your sister, it has been seen by millions of, not just on, but on dozens of other worlds. It has spread to the other species of the Alliance as well. Billions of beings have now seen what you did." Ho felt uncomfortable. He had not known about the recording. He had not known that anyone was watching. "I did not do anything special," he said. "I just refused to give up. Any human would have done the same." Shook its head slowly. "No, that is where you are wrong. We have met many species in our travels through the stars. We have met species that are smarter than humans, species that are stronger, species that live longer, but we have never met a species like yours." "What do you mean?" Stepped closer. The yellow eyes looked deep into Ho's dark ones. "Other species accept their limits," said. "When their bodies say stop, they stop. When death comes, they let it take them. They do not fight against the impossible. They do not walk on broken legs through pain that should destroy them. They do not hold on to life with such fierce desperation." The doctor paused, searching for the right words. "But humans are different," continued. "You do not accept limits. You do not bow to the impossible. You fight and struggle and refuse to give up, even when every logical calculation says you should. You are terrifying and wonderful, and we do not know what to do with you." Ho did not know what to say. He had never thought of humans as special. To him, they were just people. People who got hurt and got scared and sometimes died. People who were not so different from any other thinking beings in the universe. But maybe was right. Maybe there was something different about humans, something that the aliens could not understand. "The Alliance has voted," said. "They have decided that humans should be welcome among them, not as equals but as something else, something we do not have a word for. You are like a warning and an inspiration, both at the same time." "A warning?" Ho asked. "Yes, a warning to any species that might think about fighting against humanity. If one human can survive 17 broken bones and walk half a kilometer through a forest, what could a whole army of humans do? What could they endure? What could they overcome?" Made a sound that might have been a nervous laugh. "The truth is, we are afraid of you," the doctor admitted. "All of us, every species in the Alliance. We are afraid of what humans might do if they were ever truly pushed, if they were ever truly desperate. You have shown us that humans do not know how to give up, and that is the most frightening thing we have ever learned." Ho thought about this. He thought about all the times in human history when people had refused to surrender, all the battles that should have been lost but were won, all the diseases that should have killed but were beaten, all the impossible things that humans had done, simply because they did not know they were impossible. Maybe was right. Maybe humans were different. Maybe that stubborn refusal to quit, that fierce determination to keep fighting no matter what, was something unique in all the universe. "I did not mean to scare anyone," Ho said finally. "I was just trying to survive. I was just trying to talk to my sister one more time." "And that is exactly what makes you so frightening," said. "You did all of that not for glory or power or conquest. You did it for love, for family, for a single person who was waiting for you." The doctor shook its head. "We cannot compete with that. We do not even know how to understand it." The three of them stood in silence for a moment. Ho and human, and alien, all of them changed by what had happened on that distant planet 8 months ago. Finally, reached into a bag and pulled out something small. It was a piece of metal, shaped into a strange symbol that Ho did not recognize. "This is for you," said, holding it out. "It is the highest honor that can give. It means one who defies death. We have never given it to an outsider before, but you have earned it." Ho took the metal piece carefully. It was warm in his hand, just like the beacon had been warm on that terrible day in the forest. "Thank you," he said. "I will treasure it." Nodded. Then the doctor did something surprising. It reached out and touched Ho's shoulder, a gesture of affection that the rarely showed to anyone. "Go well, human," said. "Live your life, be happy, and please, for the sake of everyone in the galaxy, try not to scare us too much more." Ho laughed again. "I will do my best." Left soon after that, returning to its ship for the long journey home, but the words stayed with Ho. The warning, the respect, the fear. Humans were different. Humans were special. Not because they were the strongest but because they did not know how to give up. And as Ho stood at the window with his sister beside him, looking down at the beautiful blue planet that had created such stubborn creatures, he felt proud. Proud to be human. Proud to be part of a species that looked at the impossible and said no. Death had come for him on. It had come with 17 broken bones and a crashed shuttle and a body that should have failed. But Ho had refused, and in refusing, he had become something more than just a survivor. He had become a legend that would be told across 40 star systems, a legend that would make aliens look at humans with new eyes, a legend that would remind the universe of one simple truth. Humans do not obey death, they simply refuse it. And sometimes, against all odds, that refusal is enough.